Well, good afternoon, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo and Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here and let's wake up those football gods. Wake up here, guys. All right, so we have some interesting news. Um, the Eagles, which are a dumpster fire, okay? The Eagles, we're dealing with coaching, okay? It's kind of amazing that the Eagles can't seem to find a coach. We had heard that Josh McDaniels early yesterday was, the odds-on favorite. Then it went on that they wanted to talk to Kellen Moore as well as John Fossil, and then my dog started barking, and so on and so forth. And now we're hearing that Eagle players are texting Jeffrey Lurie to make a decision, and they want Deuce Staley, former running back, for them. It's crazy what's going on with the whole Eagle situation. I can't tell you. I mean, Philly 500. Maybe you got some answers on that one, but dealing with the Dallas Cowboys, because I know Cowboy fans are going to be like, "Why are you dealing or caring about the Eagles?" It's because you got to know your enemy. You got to play them twice a year. You need to understand what they're doing so that way you can continue to beat them. We want to keep them down in the basement. I hate the Eagles, and I'm enjoying, quite frankly, I'm enjoying the fact that they are having hard times. As I just love it. I just love it. But speaking back to the Dallas Cowboys, a couple of things that I've said to you guys that are kind of interesting that I'm getting confirmed. Um, One of the things we were talking about was compensatory picks. So let me go back over here. I've actually got the wrong screen up here. One of the things I was talking about for us for this year, and I've been talking about this for quite a while. This article just came out 2 hours ago. Projected compensatory picks for the Dallas Cowboys. I've been saying that this year we get a boatload of picks, and this is where understanding about holding on to guys too long. You think about Dez Bryant, where we ended up cutting Dez, and we end up having, $16 million of dead money or whatever it was, on our cap. What New England does is they don't wait for a guy to get old and leave dead money on the salary cap. They get rid of him ahead of time and get compensatory picks. The way compensatory picks work is if you lose more free agent value money wise than you bring in, then you're going to get a pick to help replace the talent. So because Byron Jones left and went to Miami and signed a big contract, boom, we get a third round pick. Because Robert Quinn goes to the Bears, signs a 5 year, $75 million contract, boom, we get a fourth round pick. Because Randall Cobb goes to the Texans and now is like, damn, why'd I come here? Signs a big deal, we get, boom, a fifth round pick. And because Jeff Heath goes to the Raiders and signs a deal, we get a sixth round pick. So not only do we have our first, our second, our third, our fourth, I think we're missing our fifth. Or is it our fourth? We're missing our fourth. We have a fifth and a sixth. And of course, a seventh. We add to that a second third, a second fourth, or single fourth, a second fifth, and a sixth to us. So what we have is 11 picks in the draft. That's phenomenal. That's the opportunity to get yourself together. And that's one of those places that you look at and say, great. And the fact that you let those guys go without them costing you a set is even better. Now, something else we got to talk about too that I kind of put out there. Um, I was posed a question about John Gruden. John Gruden, who's 3 years in, and the best season he's had is 8-8. How come we hadn't heard about John Gruden being on the hot seat? Well, here's an article here, Bleacher Report, about NFL coaches on the hot seat. And I told you guys once they re-signed Kellen Moore, that Kellen Moore is the new Jason Garrett. He is the guy that eventually will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But let's take a look at the list that they have of coaches that are on the hot seat. We'll start out with Vic Fangio, for Denver. Okay, no surprise there. Denver has been a disappointment, and I'll put a lot of that also on John Elway, who can't seem to get a quarterback for him. Then we'll go through John Gruden. I'm so glad that they got John Gruden on the list because I kept saying, how is it that that guy gets a pass, that he's not feeling any heat at all? Las Vegas Raiders head coach John Gruden doesn't get nearly enough attention as a hot seat candidate. I told you that myself. Here, let me blow this up a little bit. Gruden arrived as a big name hire in 2018 with a 10-year, $100 million contract and went 4-12, approved 7-9, and then went 8-8. One could say that's gradual progression, but that's 12-4 season. But that 12-4 season in 2016 continues to look like an anomaly for a franchise that hasn't won double-digit games since 2002. While Gruden did get by 8-8 by taking down Kansas City and New Orleans, the record was buoyed by victories over 5-win Carolina, 5-win Denver twice, and 2-win New York Jets, and a 43-6 loss to 4-win team Atlanta Falcons. Show how inconsistent they are. So he's definitely on the hot seat. But then, lo and behold, at number 3, Mike McCarthy. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys were oddly patient with Jason Garrett, who went 500 for 3 consecutive seasons before hitting double-digit wins every other year starting in 2014. A final 500 season in a 2019 sunk him, and the team turned to Mike McCarthy. McCarthy got off to the wrong foot with a 6-10 showing in the NFC East that sent a 7-win team to the playoffs. But it was easy to see that he would have gotten a pass because Dak Prescott suffered a season-ending injury. Before that, Dak was on pace for a historic statistical season, completing 68% of his 222 pass attempts for 1,856 yards with 9 TDs and 4 interceptions. Backup Andy Dalton, despite being one of the better reserves in the league, has just 2,100 yards with 14 touchdowns and 8 picks over 11 games. So you Dak haters, understand that it took almost twice the amount of games for Andy Dalton to get past Dak Prescott. Just saying. Even more concerning was a defense that was negatively historic pace and should be dramatic changes this offseason. McCarthy should have an improved defense, at least on paper, a healthy Prescott, that's if they sign him, of course, and a healthier offensive line in 21. Provide the front office managers the offseason wisely and extends its star passer. But it's easy to think Jerry and company won't be patient this time around after surging a win-now core while losing players such as cornerback Byron Jones because of cap constraints. So, like I said before, I will add to that they believe in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore, if he doesn't get hired by the Eagles, but it doesn't seem like anybody's going to get hired by the Eagles right now, to me is the next Jason Garrett. If you're Mike McCarthy, you're about to be Wade Phillips, in which case you will be the fall guy and he will be elevated. So when you look at hot seats, yeah, you have to think that Jerry Jones is not going to be patient 2 years in a row. And finishing off the list, Matt Nagy with the Chicago Bears and Zach Taylor with the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's where we are. Mike McCarthy officially is on the hot seat. Better get it right this year, or else you'll be back up in Green Bay in your garage studying analytics. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, I got to get back to these racks. Got to get them out of here, and I'll see you